Hello, hello, hello. Good evening.
Oh,
Seven
good
o'clock in
morning.
the UK.
And it is right now, I think 10 a.m. No, 11 a.m.
11 a.m. Yeah, so 8 hours difference. Yeah, thank you so much. My name is Aleksandra Marcinkowska and I live in the UK, and I'll be speaking to Dr. Mariusz Wirga today. And I would like to welcome you. Dr. Mariusz
Thank
Wirga
you.
is a psychiatrist, psychotherapist, psycho-oncologist who is also hosting webinars from the series ABC of Your Emotions during pandemic. Dr. Mariusz Wirga is an author of many articles, books, and reports, and he's a director of Todd Cancer Institute in Long Beach, California, where he conducts trainings and therapy in Beat the Odds program. Welcome, Mariusz.
Thank you very much. So just to clarify, I'm not the medical director for Todd Cancer Institute, just for psychosocial oncology over there. So, but thank you.
Sorry. For me, you are just the director of the institute.
No. I don't want the headache.
Oh gosh, yeah. So today's session is about truth or fact. And I will be playing a role of a person who was trying to go through 5 healthy questions from the rational behavior therapy, but I stuck on the first question. So my problem is I'm trying to run a seminar at 8 o'clock. My neighbors, the kids of the neighbors are very, very loud, and I'm very angry. And the fact is that I'm sick and tired with them. It's quite late, and I'm thinking just to ring the police and report them because the children shouldn't be that loud. So for me, this is the fact. But I somehow stuck on the first question. What do I do?
So thank you very much for bringing this up. So let me
thank you, doctor.
Thank you for being such a good sport and using the fictitious example.
Yes, that's the fiction, but let's work on
it. So with it here, so let's put it in the format to better understand the process. So we call it ABCD of emotions, right? So A is an activating event. In your situation, it is noise of the kids,
yes.
of your neighbor's kids. You know what? I think that your microphone is hitting on your joint.
I'm so sorry. Is it better now?
Oh, much better.
Thank you. Sorry.
No worries. So the ABCD of emotions. So A is activating event, the noise that the kids make. B is what you think about that noise. They should not make that noise. Kids should be quiet. I should have quiet to be able to do the webinar. Like right now, we are. It is late. Maybe 7 p.m. is not that late, but it is the time for you to really move into international webinars that you can span both globes, and at the same time. So your emotions are a logical consequence of what you think. These thoughts create your anger, and then your action is that you are so upset that you want to call the police and get them to be quiet. So this is the ABCDs of emotions. And now we would need to look at the bill. If you want to feel differently and act differently in the situation, we would need to look at the beliefs, because we cannot change the fact of, that the kids are loud, right? Or we could, but that would. So yes, and that is exactly it, because we usually have a tendency to try to control the event rather than our beliefs and attitudes. And if we wanted to feel better, then we would have to control all the events, everybody around us, what they say, and they would have to say only the things that we like, and would have to act only the way we like them to act, and suddenly then we would be happy, right? No, we don't have the energy and ability to control other people's behavior and what they say and what they do. We can only control what we think about their behavior and what they say. So So if I want to feel better, that is important for me to think healthier, and that is where the 5 rules for healthy thinking comes in. And we can, and so if I have those thoughts, and we already identified, it's, I should have quiet now that I have the webinar. Kids shouldn't be making that noise. Then these parents are not controlling their kids properly.
And I'm going to report them to the police.
Yes, that is, and then you may be thinking, oh, that is, your thoughts may be spiraling. One association of angry thought may lead to another association of an angry thought, and then your anger is getting stronger and stronger. The problem with anger is that we like that feeling, right?
Oh yeah, I actually thought that I'm going to go back to Poland after 15 years of being here because I hate my neighbor.
But you got cut off. Someone is turning off your microphone too early. So you wanted to go back to Poland?
Yes, after 15 years, because I hate my neighbors now, because they kids are too loud, and I'm going to pack my stuff, and I'm, yeah.
In Poland too, so I think that it is.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that I'm going to have neighbors in Poland, yes. But what I'm saying is, look how far,
wherever you go.
How far I got with my thoughts, actually, yeah.
So yeah, so we may, particularly when we get angry, we may start getting angrier and angrier, because anger is just the second emotion after joy that we like to maintain. So anger is a very tricky thing because it gives us energy. It feels much better than depression when we have no energy. We have no doubts, so it feels much better than anxiety because we have too many doubts in anxiety, right? It feels, we have clarity, we have no doubts who done it and how they are going to pay for it, right? and also there's, because anger also is a moral emotion, so that means that we have this righteous indignation, and oh man, I'm superior to others, I know better what should be happening and shouldn't. So anger is a tricky emotion, and so we may be spiraling, but anger also motivates us to harm and destroy. So in this ABCD activating event, neighbors' kids are allowed at 7 p.m. Your thoughts, oh, they shouldn't be loud, I have the webinar to conduct, they will be distracting me, and
I feel angry.
And yes, and then in C, you feel angry, and in D, you have the
I'll be reporting to police as well.
And yes, and reporting to the police. So, I can only tell you that here in California, if you reported them at 7 p.m. to the police, they wouldn't come.
No, I'm not going to report anybody. That's just the fiction example, the people. So, okay, so I was in pieces and I was trying to put myself into a situation where now we'll be thinking healthy. And actually, I was trying to use the 5 healthy questions. And the first question, is this beliefs based on facts? Put me in kind of like I feel like a kind of barrier, because I don't know what that means. What is the indicator that something is based on facts? What supporting questions can I ask myself to know that something is objective and can be defined as fact, or subjective and can be defined as truth? How do I recognize that?
All right.
What's the difference between truth and fact?
So hold on to that thought. So let's first talk about those 5 rules, right? Because it is ABCDs of emotions. If my emotions in C and actions in D depend on what I think in B, not on what happened in A, then I need to look at what is healthy thinking, what is not healthy thinking. And that, as you mentioned, there are 5 rules for healthy thinking. And we use them in the question form. So we are asking if these thoughts that I have about the event A, if these thoughts are based on facts, on objective reality, that is rule number 1. is this thought, does this thought helps me to
Protect
achieve
my health alive.
yes,
Yeah.
protect my life and health. Does
Yeah.
this thought best help me to achieve my short and long-term goals? Does this thought help
Yes.
me to handle most unwanted conflicts with others? And the last fifth rule is, does this thought help me to feel the way I want to feel without abusing any substances? So there are 5 rules. Healthy thinking obeys at least 3 of those 5 rules. And what is healthy for me doesn't have to be healthy for you. What is healthy for me today may not be healthy at other times. And some rules have no application, like the rule that you are asking me about today. Rule number 1, something does not apply. It does not apply to religious, spiritual, philosophical, or existential beliefs, because we don't argue what is fact over there. We don't have scientific tools to find out what is fact.
To measure it. Yes. So how do
and then
I
it may bring
recognize?
up a lot of conflict. So yes. So now you are asking me, what is the difference between the fact and the truth, right?
And how do I recognize? Because I think that my truth is the fact.
Yeah. So we very often say that something is truth, but really truth is something that I believe so strongly that I think it exists in objective reality, while in fact that fact only exists in objective reality and can be tested with scientific means, its existence. So I can measure it, I can record it. So the video camera can record facts. If something wouldn't be recorded on a video camera, very often it is not a fact. Of course, there are facts happening on the molecular level, so these would be recorded by special microscopes or so on, some other instruments. But again, the fact. So how I'm asking. So how I can determine if something is fact or truth? Truth is, it exists primarily in my head, in my mind, and in minds of people who share my beliefs, right? And but people of different beliefs may not see this reality the same way. So that is good. So it is good to ask myself, what is the evidence, and how this evidence can be verified that this is exactly fact and not just what I believe, because our mind is, we may not see the things that we don't believe exist, and it happens to all of us. When we believe that we lost our car keys or we lost our phone, these car keys or our phone may be sitting in front of us, and we won't see them because we believe we lost them. So actually our mind can create filters for us that we won't have, and we actually, the cognitive neuroscience tells us that we don't have direct access to reality because it is filtered already through our belief system. So if we believe that something does not exist, such a concrete thing, such a tangible thing as my watch or my phone or car keys, I may not see those things because I believe they are not there.
Thank you so much. So let me just paraphrase whether I understood that correctly. So truth is any idea of what the person believes in, and this is a very, very subjective perception of the situation, and it also is based on my feelings and my perception, which the facts are the part of the real world, independent of our beliefs, and they exist regardless of whether we know about them, accept them, are convinced about them, or do we like them or not. Mm-hmm. So are you saying that we don't have to like the facts?
Oh, we very often don't like the facts. Actually, the primary source of suffering that we experience is that we don't accept reality the way it is.
So do we like suffering then?
Pardon?
do we like suffering then? Because
no. I don't. So suffering may also distract us from other important things in our lives, from other forms of suffering. But what I wanted to focus right now on is that most of our suffering comes from our demand that the reality is going to be different than it is, and so this is lack of acceptance of what is. And so the rule number one, all the rules are equally important, but the rule number one is a very special rule because it helps us to align our thinking with the laws of nature, laws of the universe. And Carl Simonton, who adopted rational behavioral therapy and ABC of emotions to the work that he did with patients with cancer and their families, he always emphasizes it's very important that our thinking is based on our nature and the laws of nature. And the rule number one is really putting our thinking in harmony with laws of nature, laws of the universe, and facts of nature. So yes, we may be protesting, kicking, screaming, but reality is reality. Nobody has ever won the war with reality. Of course, when I say reality, it is what is not right now, and causes for the things the way they are right now lie in the past. We cannot change the past. But of course, we can shape the future reality if it is in our power, and if you want to. And so yeah, we'll be focusing on some of those things in the coming webinar, and how the words shape how we see the world. The words that we use, we will be talking about semantics and how it influences how we feel, how we see the world, and how we function in that world. And so, yeah. And because those 5 rules for healthy thinking are not only just rules for healthy thinking, but also rules for success. Because whenever we achieved some success, our thinking had to obey at least 3 of those 5 rules.
Thank you. So let's get back to my situation where I said it's too loud, the kids are too loud, they shouldn't be loud, it's too late, and I'm going to ring the police. And actually using the 5 rational questions. The first question is my thinking here factual? So what is in my thinking that it doesn't make it a fact? What is it?
So the first thought, the kids should not be loud, is if something is happening, it should be happening. So as I said, if something happened, that means, first of all, the energy of kids is such that kids, if healthy children.
So the natural process of growing up is that the kids are loud.
Yeah. So and they are playing, and that is how they learn how to be in the world. They communicate, and very often communicate quite loud, and the pitch of their voices is much higher, so we hear them much more intensely often. But that is part of the nature, and if kids are too silent or too quiet, that is not a sign of health. So I'm very happy that your fictitious neighbors have healthy children.
Yes,
and of course, I'm assuming, of course, again, it is my thinking, that the loud kids are loud because they are playing, and just naturally loud. They're not screaming for help. Then
yes, of course.
You would need
if
to
they
call
did,
for police.
of course, yes. Thank you. So, so the next question is: will my thinking here best help me to protect my life and health? I would say no, obviously, because like you said, that I'm going further with my thoughts, and I don't like it. And because it doesn't help me to achieve my short-term and long-term goals as well. And
this may distract you from your goals.
Course.
You are focusing on doing a webinar, and
And
suddenly
I feel
you have
angry.
thoughts of,
It won't help me
yes,
because the kids are happy, the children are happy in their own garden, and I'm sitting here thinking about, oh my gosh, I'm going to report them to the police. They have no idea about what I'm going to do and how I'm feeling at the moment. And obviously this thinking won't help me to avoid the conflicts, because when I ring the police, we're going to have a conflict with my neighbor. And obviously I don't want to feel the way I feel at the moment. So I answer 5 times no to all those questions. What do I do next if I realized that my thinking is not healthy at the moment? What's the next step?
So for each unhealthy thought that we identified, so you would ask yourself those 5 rules, and for each unhealthy thought that you identified, you would formulate healthy thought. Okay. And the first step is to ask yourself 5 questions for each of those. But even before, I usually encourage people to see if in these statements that create our unhealthy emotions, that stir up us in an unhealthy way, these unhealthy thoughts, whether they contain words that we habitually react with negative emotions. We call it unhealthy and healthy semantics. And there are certain words, I like should, I have to, must, and so on, that we identify in this thinking. And that is exactly the subject of our next webinar, healthy semantics. And we will be asking you to watch your language, because your language influences how you feel and how you act, and therefore also it influences the destiny of your life. Because so we will be looking at words that we use, and it is very relatively easy. And so happens that this looking at healthy semantics is also revealing cognitive distortions. And Dr. Michael DiBernardi, it's going to be the first time that we will connect the healthy semantics with cognitive distortions. So you don't need to learn the cognitive distortions. It's enough that you learn healthy semantics, which is much more fun.
Fantastic. So we would like to invite you to the seminar on Sunday, 11 o'clock a.m. And Dr. Wirga and Dr. DiBernardi, is this the Californian time, 11 a.m.?
11 a.m. Pacific time, yes.
Pacific
and
time.
Dr. Michael DiBernardi is going to be from New Mexico. So
we are inviting
12 noon.
Yeah, oh yes. We are inviting you to join the group ABC of Your Emotions During Pandemic. The group is run in English. All the materials and webinars and homework is in English as well for the English-speaking people. So thank you so much, Dr. Mariusz, and see you everyone on Sunday. Oh, it's a Sunday in American English.
Yeah, this Sunday.
Sunday. I say Sunday.
I mean, I'm not teaching anybody how to pronounce English. Come on. Carl Simonton always used to say, "Oh, Mariusz speaks 6 different languages, but all of them sound Polish."
So Polish, American, Polish, English. See you on Sunday.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.